to make the Lord famous in whatever I do with my worship and relationship with Him. That's Rita Springer's motto, and it's carried her through years of singing and songwriting. And today she mentors worship leaders across the world, sharing that true worship should lead people to the presence of God.
Worship leader Rita Springer says, making Christ famous through the art, act, and physical sound of our worship is her deepest desire. In 2008, Rita began a worship school called Dive. The school trains and encourages upcoming worship leaders all over the world. Rita says her new album, Fed by Ravens, stands as a testament that God's provision and power, faith and trust are ever present, no matter how scorching the wilderness may be.
Well, everyone, Rita Springer is here with us in the studio. Rita, I am such a fan, so I'm so excited to get to talk to you today. Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we got to talk about the new album, Fed by Ravens. Now, that's an interesting title. You got to talk about what led you to even write the album, and then the name, Fed by Ravens.
I mean, I'm older, and I just had told the Lord when I felt like He asked me in January 2023, I want you to do another record. I was like, I'm done doing records. I'm not going to do this anymore. And it took about 6 months. And I remember I was washing my car, and it was kind of early summer, and I could feel it on my heart. And I just said, what do you want me to do? And He said, I just want you to begin to write. And I said, okay, I can't do this without having vision. I have no vision. And I will not start something that has to do with worship without vision. And so I said, you're gonna have to give me vision. And I said, just give me the title. Just give me the title of the record. I was just literally sobbing out, washing my car by the garage. And as clear as a bell, He said, you'll call this one Fed by Ravens. And when He said it, actually makes me choke up thinking about it. When He said it, I knew that He was giving me language for the season I had found myself. And that I was just in a season, I mean, we all go through seasons, but this one just didn't end. And I had to figure out how to sing myself out of the desert. And these lyrics and melody lines were what I found to commune with God and find the pathway out of the desert. And I knew it was also a word for the church to see life outside the desert.
Well, what was going on for you personally that it was a desert season?
I mean, 2020 was tough. And I'm not the worship leader and the songwriter that has made my living making millions of dollars in royalties. I've friends that do that and peers that do that. But everything for me has been hands-on ministry. And so 2020 just kind of silenced all that. So it was a lot of financial difficulty. As a single parent, I adopted Justice when he was a baby. And just navigating this kid through COVID and physical, I had to have surgery in July of 2023, and they thought, oh gosh, it might be cancerous, it might be a tumor, and thank God everything was fine, but came out of that and they found a cyst on my trachea, and just like one thing after another, destroyed the tendon in my knee. And it was just very, very painful physical season, and God wasn't moving to heal. He was just saying, be patient and know that I'm God. And sing. Just sing. You know, Isaiah 54 says, sing, O barren woman, you never bore a child. And the beauty of that is, how do you sing like you have something when you don't? You sing. You know, and that's what I had to learn to do, is just sing.
Well, what word of encouragement or maybe like advice or wisdom would you give to somebody who's watching, who's in their own desert season, and they find it difficult to sing?
You know, I have track records with the Lord. I have a deep relationship that's continuing to evolve. I think we have to have a relationship with Jesus in order to withstand some of the winds, because some of the winds could knock you over. And I think my advice would be, get in the Word and get Him in your bones. Believe that He's in your DNA, and that His promises, no matter what they look like and how they come, there is peace in the midst of the storm. And I think that that's what I can say. Has God answered anything from 2023? Absolutely not. But there was a relief in, he led me to a stream, and the stream was enough.
Yeah.
And there's always water in the desert.
Yeah.
I think people need to remember that.
Yeah.
In every scripture, there's always water.
And we can be fed by ravens too.
I mean,
what a miracle.
It's not the way I want to be fed, but
yeah, definitely. Well, you've been in the industry. I mean, you've been leading worship for like 30 plus years.
Yeah.
You know, in the industry for a long time. I mean, did you ever imagine you would be where you are today?
You know what? I'm proud of how I've maintained my integrity, how I've kept my passion and my love for the Lord. I think, man, that's a rare thing these days. And I think that I have that because life hasn't been easy. And I wasn't handed some of the successes that other people were handed. I didn't get famous overnight on TikTok. I actually had to kind of walk it out and nitty gritty, you know, and I've got great testimony because of it. I'm thankful for that. So I love the longevity that I've been maintained and the beauty of keeping Christ relevant and keeping him in the center, you know, of everything that I do. He's the center. He's just everything.
And it exudes out of you.
Yeah,
like it truly does. I mean, in your worship, of course, but just like sitting next to you and hearing you talk, it's beautiful. Well, you also feel really strongly about what worship music is and what it is not. Can you just talk a little bit about that and what you've learned? Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of conversations with the Lord over the years about how I see things moving. You can't not help but see, you know, the shifts and change of things. The day and age I came in to worship was a kind of a sacred day. Worship wasn't a commodity. It wasn't a marketplace. That it is now. It really is now. That's not all bad, but I think it can be easily done for the wrong reasons. And I do think that the heart checks and accountability, they are very few and far between. There's not pastors that keep their worship leaders in accountability, and nobody really cares to know what you're doing. Record labels, Christian record labels, don't have pastors on staff that pastor their artists, and because it's a business. And I think those are the dangers. And I think that my advice even to a younger generation is to check yourself. Why are you doing this? Are you called by God? Are you called by something else that makes it look like it's God? And to really find out, because God calls you to the hard stuff. He doesn't call you usually to the easy Come on,
stuff. Girl. So I think if it's so easy, then I would be like, oof, is this the Lord? If fame and fortune come so easy, you know. I mean, I've said this so many times, but, you know, I think for me, I grappled with the Lord asking me the question very many years ago, Rita, do you want a royalty check or do you want to raise the dead? And honestly, like I said to the Lord, can we do both? Like, can you do both? Like I wanted to know, can you do both? Because I really wanted to know what the Lord was saying. I don't think he was saying it's one or the other. I think he was saying, where is your heart? Because where your heart is, there will also be your treasure. And I think you can see with a lot of different artists nowadays in the Christian field where the treasure is. Yeah, absolutely. I got chills when you said that. That's so good. But something that easily pours out of you along with worship is your heart for mentorship. Talk about that, because I feel like you've done that through different programs, but you do that in your podcast as well. Truly. Yeah, I mean, if we can't give it away, then what are we doing this for? You know, Jesus gathered 12, and those 12 are still feeding us today. And so there's a power in mentoring and there's a power in discipling. And I don't know why it's not the biggest thing that we think about in ministry. Where are the mothers and the fathers? Where are the big sisters and the brothers that come up alongside those that are kind of coming into it, and why aren't we throwing life and heaps of encouragement on them? And that's just part of my DNA too. I think I got the power of encouragement in my bones, and I can't see a younger generation go to waste. And so as long as I've got breath, I want to be able to see, I see you, I see the gift in you, and breathe on the embers of the gifts in them, so that they are ones that say, I was encouraged and I was seen for what the Lord had on me. I mean, man, where is that generation of people that you know, are the Elijahs to the Elishas, you know? And so it's just my heart.
I love that. And you are a mother to the younger generation. I mean, your son is going to be how old?
He's going to be 20.
Yeah. And I think it's just in you as well.
Yeah, he's a beautiful musician. And, you know, we have a saying in our household that there are no ceilings.
Wow.
That you can dream as big as you want to dream because we have no ceilings in our house. Yeah. And he's grown up under the wealth of that and the beauty of that. So I don't know where he's going to fly to, but it'll be
It's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Well, you're going to be performing I think one of your most popular songs. It's called Defender. Can you just talk about what Defender? Yeah, what led you to write this song?
I mean, every song that I've written, Ashley, is a song that comes from a place in a season. And Defender was just a season where I really needed God to be my vindication. And I think we go through those seasons too. I just felt like, you know, my name had been kind of dragged through the mud with people that didn't know me, and I had to break away from relationships and people that were not supposed to be in my life. And I think sometimes we try to keep people in our lives that are not supposed to be in our lives. And it was a season where I needed the Lord to vindicate me, and the Lord said, you keep your mouth shut and let me stand on the field for you. Wow. And it was a season like no other season, but finding gems like that that become anthems for other people, you know, they kind of write themselves a great story.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Rita, I just want to say thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for the album. Thank you for everything that you were doing. I really believe you are a mother to the next generation. You are a big sister, and I'm encouraged even chatting with you. So thank you so much. Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, Rita's newest album is called Fed by Ravens, and you can download it everywhere today. Just go to her website, ritaspringer.com. And when we come back, Rita will perform her amazing song, Defender. So make sure you guys stay with us.